The plane landed at noon. My father said he booked the ticket so I could reconnect with family. Those were his exact words. Reconnect. I walked off the jet bridge looking for a familiar face. Found my brother instead. He was holding a diaper bag. Not a greeting. Not a coffee. A pastel blue bag stuffed with wipes and onesies, and the kind of resigned exhaustion that only comes from parenting someone else's choices. "We're off to Europe," he said, handed me the bag. "You're with them. 2 kids. A girl, maybe 3. A boy barely walking. They were standing behind his legs like luggage he'd forgotten to check. Just be with them," he added, as if I'd agreed. As if anyone had asked. I said nothing. That was the first time I chose silence. Not because I was stunned. Not because I was kind. Because I finally understood something. They hadn't planned for me to have a voice. They'd planned for me to fold, so I folded. Just enough. I took the bag. The airport shuttle to the hotel was 40 minutes. My brother sat in the front seat on his phone. The kids were in the back with me. The girl kept touching my sleeve. The boy fell asleep against my arm. I didn't mind them. They hadn't done anything wrong. They were just small people caught inside someone else's bad architecture. That night I heard my brother on the phone with his ex-wife. He wasn't quiet, he never is. Something about custody weekends. Something about how she owed him for the Europe trip. She hung up. He threw his phone on the bed. I memorized her name. The next morning we were supposed to check in for the flight to Rome. My brother was already stressed, already snapping at the kids, already treating me like furniture that could also change diapers. He handed me their passports while he argued with the front desk about a late fee. I looked at the documents. Children's names. His name. And in the emergency contact section, still unchanged from last year, his ex-wife's number. I didn't steal anything. I didn't lie. I just copied the number into my own phone. Then I handed the passports back. That was the second silence, 3 days in. We were at a crowded train station. My brother was buying tickets. I had the kids by a pillar. The girl asked where her mom was. I said I didn't know. The boy started crying for no reason, which is what toddlers do when the world has stopped making sense to them. I called the number. A woman answered. Tired voice, wary. I told her who I was. I told her where we were. I told her that her children had been taken to a different continent without her signature on anything that mattered. She was silent. Then she said, "Don't move." I didn't. My brother came back with tickets. I said the kids were hungry. He rolled his eyes but went to find food. That gave me 20 minutes. When he was gone, a woman walked through the station doors. She looked like the girl would look in 30 years. Same wary eyes. The ex-wife, she didn't yell. She knelt down. The girl ran to her. The boy grabbed her leg. She looked at me and nodded once. Then she took them. I handed her the diaper bag. "The custody order says he can't take them out of the country without your written consent," I said. She blinked. "How did you know that?" "He left the papers in the hotel room." She didn't ask more. She just left. 3 minutes later, my brother came back holding 2 juice boxes and a croissant. He looked at the empty pillar, then at me. "Where are they?" I said nothing. His phone rang. His ex-wife's name on the screen. He answered. I watched his face change from confusion to anger to something I hadn't seen before. Fear. The kind of fear that lives underneath people who assume the world will always bend for them. "You can't do that," he said into the phone. Then quieter, "The flight is in 2 hours. I don't know what she said. But I saw him sit down on the station floor right on the dirty tile. A grown man in a linen shirt sitting like a child who lost something he never deserved to hold. He hung up, looked at me. "Did you call her?" I didn't answer. That was the third silence, and the last. My phone started buzzing 20 minutes later. My father, then my mother, then my father again. I didn't block them. I just let the phone ring in my bag while I walked to a different terminal and bought myself a one-way ticket back to the US. By the time my brother found the rental car counter to beg for a ride to the embassy, my plane was boarding. I heard later they were already flying back that night. The ex-wife had filed an emergency motion. The children were home before sunrise. My brother lost supervised visitation for 6 months. My father left a voicemail I never played. People ask me if I feel guilty. I don't. I didn't scream. I didn't fight. I didn't break anything. I just showed up, held the bag, and waited for someone to forget that silence is also a language. They forgot. I didn't.